as big as my thigh. And I was like, I opened, I was taking, we had one of those, we had a bathroom.
Photo shoot. Weird. Anyway,
That's
on every
crazy.
one of those, that wasn't really, I don't think, a near-death experience. I don't think that, but it's still, everything slowed down. That's the sort of the common denominator is everything slows down.
Have you ever been knocked out?
No.
That's a weird feeling. At the Visalia skate park, so when there's big ramps, like the very big ones, you usually do a drop in, which is like, so if this is the top of it, you put your board like this and you're hanging over and then you drop in. But once you get a little bit more experience, it's a little bit more risky, but it looks a lot more cooler. It's style. You just, instead of stopping and dropping in, you skate and you roll in. You do a little pop and you just roll into that bitch. And it looks cool. It's faster. I was just learning these, but I had them down for a while. I went to roll into the bowl, which is at the corner. It's a big, like, it goes into the floor. It's really high. Here's one of the reasons with the rolling. When you're dropping in, your wheels are already set as long as you have balance. Rolling in, you're hopping over that little bar. My back tires clipped it and I just went straight down and hit my head. So I just remember rolling to it and then I remember waking up.
Yeah.
You know, at the bottom of it. Like, that's always like and then did I ever tell you about the story when I nutted the rail?
No.
Okay. So there was this little handrail at the high school I went to in Tulare Western. It was called the band room ledge because it was where like the band room opened and they like would load their stuff into the trucks for when they did shows. And there was a little forest area and there was a rail, but nobody skated that rail because it had a kink. And what a kink is usually when a rail goes down, it's the ones that have like the little thing that goes like this. Oh, you know? So when your hands are going down and then it gets leveled, you know,
right.
We call that a kink.
Yeah.
So nobody did it because of the kink. Kinks are hard to skate. So everybody would just jump off the ledge, just doing tricks off the ledge. Well, we were all skating and everything. Everybody was going home. It was getting late. So everyone's like, later. I lived the closest. So I kind of let everyone started going home before me. And then I put on my backpack. I was the last one there. And I was like, I'm going to hit that fucking kink on the way home. So I go and I board sided the rail. As soon as I went to the kink, it shot me out and I just nutted the rail.
Oh
yeah, so I'm just like, fall on the floor, and I'm like, you know, like I'm like, okay. So you know what us guys do? You have to put your hand in there. You have to make sure like they're all there.
Yeah,
everything was there. I'm catching my breath, and I'm like, okay. I skate home, which is like 5 minutes, and I'm in pain though. Like it's real. This is the worst one ever. I take a shower. And I think I was in so much pain and stuff, and I just wasn't paying attention. But it was hurting. I looked down. Leo, I shit you not, dude. I shit you not. My dick was like as big as my thigh. And I was like, I opened, I was taking, we had one of those, we had a bathroom.
Photo shoot.
Yeah, that's so funny because every guy I've ever told the story said that. You should have took a fucking photo. I said, no, guys, you're not getting it. It wasn't like this. It was like as big as my thigh. I was like, so we had one of those bathrooms that's like 1.5, you know, one of them had a bathtub and everything. One had a shower. I just opened the shower door and like the towel rack was right there. I tried to grab the towel rack, just passed out. Straight passed out from like shock, I guess. I don't know. Seeing my freaking junk this big.
Maybe loss of blood. In one area.
Yeah, that was, so I've passed out twice or like that. Yeah. And it was but
so did you break your dick?
You know what? I was always too nervous to tell anybody anything. I was way, you know, I was young when this happened. I was like 14 maybe. And I was always just
Didn't
way
somebody
too
notice,
nervous.
like in your pants when you were walking around? Did you just wear?
The next day it went like, so I went to sleep and then it went it's like, it went like, it was still swollen, but like where I'm pretty sure that I don't want to say broke or anything my tailbone, but I know I bruised the fuck out of it where I couldn't sit. Like I couldn't sit for like a week. And I've always just been too scared to tell my parents because I knew they really didn't want me skateboarding in general. Yeah. So how am I going to tell them, like, I can't sit down. I can't shit. My dick's this big, you know? So I would always try to keep those things from them. But, and then I was always scared, like, well, you're probably never going to have kids. I've had two, you know? So, but it was bad. It was real bad. You're actually
pretty lucky.
Yeah.
Maybe your dick saved your balls. I mean, they both have to work, but if you broke your testicles, well, they couldn't perform. You wouldn't have had kids. Probably.
Yeah. Yeah. I was always just too nervous to tell my my parents stuff like that, you know?
Yeah. You talk about lying. I mean, we constantly lied to our parents, right? And the funny thing is,
but I didn't lie. You know what? I just didn't tell them. That's what I'm saying.
As we're talking, I mean, I'm remembering shit now, coming in late and, going, saying that you're going to go to parties, stay with somebody's friend when you weren't.
Oh yeah. That one. Yeah. That is something I did.
The funny thing is my dad used to say it all the time. He goes, I was your age once. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. You were.
Yeah. My dad was super good at, knowing exactly what the fuck I'm doing. Yeah. I would try and he'd be like, this is what you're doing. And I was like, inside, I was like, holy fuck. Right. But I was like, no, I think the one thing I lied to them about a lot and it bugged me until I told them was they were super proud that I wasn't a stoner because it was starting to get bigger and bigger. But what they didn't know was before my friends started doing it, I was already smoking like 3 years before all my friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I started smoking very young, pot. And that one bugged me because they were always so proud about it. So proud, Did
you fess up?
Yeah, I did because, I don't know if I ever would have until I got a lot older, but, what ended up happening was one time I had a really bad high, like I was panicking, like I was super scared. Like I thought I was dying. So I didn't know what to do. And I called my mom. I was like, Mom. And she's all like, what, brother? I'm at work. And I said, I've always been smoking, Mom. And she's all, what? And I was like, yeah, I've always smoked forever, but that's not even the problem right now. I'm dying. I need you to get off work. I'm dying. And she's like, what are you talking about? I was like, Mom, listen, I've always smoked weed. Always. I'm a pothead, but I smoked something bad. And she's like, oh my God, you're just having a bad high. I'm going to call your dad. I was like, don't call dad. Don't call dad. And she called my dad. And that was always scary, and
do you think you had something that was laced?
I don't know because now as I've got older, I've heard people like, I don't really smoke because it gives me bad highs. And I'm like, but I don't know what caused. I've had 2 bad highs and they were both like, by the second one, I knew what it was. Like, okay, you're having a bad high, but it doesn't matter. That shit, when you're having a bad high, it hits you and you're like, fucked. You're in fuckville. You know what I mean? And you're going 100 miles per hour. And, I don't know, dude. The first time for sure, I was like, I was laced. That's what I thought. But then you learn that some people just have bad highs and they don't react to it right. And I don't know why those 2 times I did. Now, though, I'm sure when you smoked, but even when I smoked back then when I was like 16, it's a lot different than now. Like now it's like you could go to a store and they're like, oh, you have bad highs? This is what you need. You know what I mean? Like it's so different now. So back then, I don't know what it was. We were just smoking whatever got handed to us, They're like, this is mind rape. You'll love it. And you're all mind rape.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was what I had to talk about today, Charlie. What did you say you like to go by? Charles.
No, I don't like Charles.
Charlie.
Jim calls me Chaz. I've had people call me Chuck, Charlie, Shake.
You know,
brother.
Charlie is the term that a lot of women use for when they have their period or don't have it. Did you know that?
Mm-mm.
Charlie's here.
So
you didn't know that?
Oh, when they do have it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Charlie showed up.
Never heard that.
You still want to be called Charlie?
I just have never dug Charles. I was gonna change my name once, and I was gonna change it to my stepdad's last name. So I was gonna change it to Daniel Hernandez. And but then because my stepdad is like, you know, we've had this talk. He's very much my dad. That is my dad. Yeah. But right when I was gonna do it, my middle name's Daniel. That's why I was gonna change it to Daniel.
Oh, okay.
But my real biological dad ended up passing away. So then I felt like shit. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, I guess I shouldn't now.
Yeah.
But I've just never liked Charles. Have you liked Leo?
No, I didn't like it for a couple of reasons. But one of the reasons was I remember, this is so funny because I'm going back. I was pretty young when I was thinking about this. Because I used to doodle a lot. I used to write my name a lot, right?
Uh-huh.
And then I'd write other names. And I found that Adam was way easier to write than Leo. It just flowed.
I remember you telling me the story, and that is so weird.
That'd be a good name to have, Adam, because of the way, you know. And then people could understand me because this is, I think, the part that we talked about was I would say Leo, and people would say Bill. So the way I was saying it sounded Leo, I guess, sounded like Bill.
Anytime I say Charles, they're all what? And I'm like, Charles. They're all Max. I'm all Charles. They're all like Felipe. I'm all Charles. They're like Zach. I'm like, what are you hearing? Charles. Yeah. Charles. Yeah. I just kind of too for my dad. Anytime someone does that once, what? I'm like Richard. Yeah. That was my dad's name. I'm just like, and they're all, oh, Richard. Okay. Like it's so easy. I'm like, what's hard about Charles? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, and then I didn't like my name because it was like, no one else had it. It was like, no one was named Leo. Fuck. I was a Leo Jr. I thought to myself, why did you guys name me that? Why? Yeah. Because of tradition or what the hell? But now I like it because it's still pretty unique.
Why didn't you name any of your kids Adam? You have two boys, right?
Yeah.
Shane and what's the other one?
Josh.
Josh. Oh, I like Josh.
Yeah.
That's a name. I've always liked that name since I was young.
But Josh is pretty, it became very popular.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Shane, on the other hand, my oldest one, that's a pretty unique name. That's kind of like a Leo, but it's a Shane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I named him after my horse. I used to team roping, and my horse's name was Shane. A great horse, man. So I thought, I'm going to name my kid that. That's how I got that name for him. Shane Jeremy.
I gave him Dylan. Did you ever play house when you were younger, Leo?
No, but I played doctor. Did the same thing.
I would always be like, my name's Dylan. So I named, and then I'm a huge fan of Bob Dylan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I named Dylan, and then Shiloh I always wanted for a girl, but then my his mother was like, Shiloh could be a guy too, and I was like, no, I can't. And she's like, yeah, think about it, like Shiloh, and I was like,
yeah.
And now like,
if Josh was a girl, it was going to be Shiloh.
Was it?
Yeah, sort of got
that's so cool. Yeah, because I've never there was this horror movie that was a musical. It was like a musical horror that I watched, and his daughter's name was Shiloh, and I was like, oh my God, I've never heard that. I love it. Like I was just in love with the name, you know?
Yeah. And I kind of I like to shorten names, or change them just a little bit. Like Shane, I call him Shaner,
Yeah.
And Shiloh could have been Shy. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
There could have been ways you could play with that. Some people, parents don't like to have the name shortened. They want a name, but no, we were going to, the funny thing was, as we were going to the doctor every so often, the doctor said, oh yeah, this looks like it's the way she's carrying. It's going to be a girl. They were certain as hell it's going to be a girl. So we didn't even plan for a boy's name. Right. And then all of a sudden Josh comes out and he's got a pee-pee. It's like, okay, now what? So we're like scrambling to come up with a fucking name, even to the point we're asking like the nurses in the hospital, hey, what do you think is a good name for a kid, a boy? Because we didn't have one.
Do you think, you know how like I don't want to say weird, how different the world is now with just everything, like like kids should be able, I don't want to get into the debate, but even kids should be able to say if they want to have a sex change or whatnot.
Right.
Do you think that one day the parents won't be able to name their kid until the kid's old enough to give themselves a name?
You know what? The way things are going, I would say it's very possible.
Me too. I started thinking about that last year. I was like, I bet you give it like maybe not even, but give it like 10 years. We'll have to call our kid like either a temp name or it'll be something until they're old enough to give themselves a name.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it blows me away when I hear this. I identify myself today as so-and-so, and then tomorrow I'm going to identify myself as that. It's like, this is.
I got in a huge fight once with they were super younger than me. It may just be our age. I don't know, being older, but I was like, they were getting mad at me because I was like, to me, there's male and female. And they're like, oh my God, Charles, you're so stupid. You're so ignorant. And I was like, no, I was like, let me put something. If you were a guy and you want to be a girl, then I don't care. You're a female, even though you were born a male. If you want to be a female, you could be a female. If you're a female that wants to be a guy, I'll call you a male. I don't care. But there's only male and female. Don't make it more. I don't care if you want to be, Leo, if you were like, I want to be a female, I would call you a female out of respect. I don't care. But there's only male and female. But they're like, oh my God, you're so ignorant. No, there's not. There's like, they started naming all these like 542 different. I was like, what? No, come on. Yeah. Stop it.
I don't know. It's kind of weird though.
It's different.
I know somebody first. I know personally somebody that did that with her kid. And they changed,
not a male or a female, or just changed it to the opposite.
Switched the I believe it was from male to female.
Yeah, I don't see as a kid.
And I'm thinking, that's kind of weird. I mean, how do you do that at that age? I would think that you'd want to wait maybe till they're older, but maybe it's worse because they get more confused. I don't know, but I thought that was just kind of weird that they made that call.
I just always hear like, yeah, but it's their body. Let them do what they want. And I'm like, yeah, but they're a child. I thought I was going to be a professional wrestler. I would have betted my life on it. Like I'm going to be a professional wrestler. And then guess what? Then I thought I was going to be a professional skater. Right. You know what I mean? Like stuff changes. You constantly change. Things that you're into as a kid are not things that you're into.
And then to be a parent that makes that call.
Mm-hmm.
Not knowing. I mean, what can there could be some real consequence for that. That was my thinking.
I don't even think you should have the choice at 18 because I'm going to be honest, like at least maybe girls at 18 can, but guys, come on, Leo, be honest. I wouldn't consider myself a grown up until I was in like my mid 20s. You get what I mean?
I didn't consider myself a grown up until I was 40.
That's how that's how I keep on feeling, like at 25, you're like, man, I feel so much more different and so much more older than when I was 18 at 25. Then you hit 30 and you're like, okay, like I'm 31 now. When I hit 30, I really remember last year thinking like, now I'm a grown up. Like I am a grown up, but you constantly keep on going through that phase. You know what I mean? Where you're like,
guys take a long time to fully develop,
Uh-huh. And I know like even my late 20s, I was still like with some of my thoughts still very immature. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It takes a long time.
Oh fuck. I was doing shit when I was 37. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Jesus.
I think I've
Gus.
I think I've calmed down with just having I know I'm so different with just the kids. They've kind of not in a bad way, but they've kind of taken the youth out of me. You know what I mean? I was very like bouncing on the wall and very wild and loud and always going. Now I'm like, I think would you say I'm pretty mellow? I think I'm a mellow person and I'm very like kind of quiet now and tired all the time. I wasn't like that. I was probably the annoying kid, like
Yeah.
shut the fuck up, dude.
If you're a halfway decent parent, kids change you. They just
Yeah.
do.
Mhm.
They have to. I mean, obviously you're their guidance counselor, so it
Yeah.
changes you. You start thinking differently that way. Good thing.
All the best ways, yeah.
Anyway, listen, you
I
have
just
anything else
wanted
you
to
want to talk about?
Yeah, just real fast. I just want
Yeah.
to say, I had kind of not me, but around me, I had a COVID scare and stuff. And man, Leo, I miss you. This has been, and then so I didn't get to see you for the serious growth or anything, but
Right.
It's been a minute. It's been like 3 weeks probably, huh?
Yeah, but it seems like a lot longer than that.
It does.
I agree.
This 3 weeks has been very long. I missed you.
If I'm being really honest with you, and if you saw the expression of my face when today you said that you couldn't do it, I thought, my shoulders dropped. I said, fuck.
I know. My mom.
I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I'm just saying,
no.
I responded to that because the point there is I wanted to do this with you because I get a kick out of it. I have a really good time with this.
Me too. I know my mom was trying super because you know how she's cleaning houses and stuff now,
Right.
as you know, and she was like, I'll try super hard, but it wasn't working. And my sister's also going to school. So I was just like, I feel the same way. I'm like, oh man, like I look forward to these.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It gives me
a good release for me.
Me too. And it's been a long time to sit back and talk to you.
Yeah.
But hopefully this will get the ball rolling again.
That's why when we have a chance, we shoot a lot of footage because what this does also is it kind of serves as a small hiatus,
Yeah.
So it's not all bad, but anyway.
Did you see these are still doing good, so thank everybody that listens, but also your Instagram's starting to do really good, huh?
I know the numbers are holding.
Yeah, I can't wait to. I hope
guess
this.
I guess you know what the fuck you're doing, huh?
I'm thinking, we could let everybody know, so it just doesn't have to be. But a while ago, you asked me if we should put this onto other things. I'm starting to think maybe we should not like YouTube or anything like that, but like actual podcast stations, so they wouldn't see us. Instagram would be. That's why I don't want to put it on YouTube because it's the same thing that's going on right now. You know what I mean? But I'm thinking this show will be on Instagram and then maybe the audio versions, put it on a different couple of podcasts. And,
okay.
Maybe we could talk more about that. But that's what because I've never done that before, though. I've never put it on like Spotify or Apple but I'm thinking maybe we should now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. My life is in your hands that way.
Ooh, I like it.
Anyway. I guess that'll be it for today, huh, Charlie?
Yeah. What do you guys usually say at the end of these?
We out.
We out.
We out.